Mr. Bhadouria, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, and it's pleasure to be here and my privilege to be here with
Likewise,
you.
likewise. So, you have worked at a gamut of places, more than 10 years at Chambal Fertilizers. You've been at HUL for over 19 years now. So, these are very, very diverse industries, so to speak. Tell us a bit about how your experience has been across these different industries and how have those experiences sort of help you grow here at Unilever and what you do?
Yeah, so to be precise, it's 14 years in fertilizers and now more than 2 decades in Unilever. And when I passed out from the college and from the campus, picked up by the fertilizers and Mr. Bilda at that time, KK Bilda, late KK Bilda was setting up the new fertilizer plant, and he picked up as the first graduate engineer trainee for setting up the new fertilizer plant, and that was a new government of India policy, which came up because of the wheat revolution. We wanted to make it to be self-sufficient in our wheat cultivation, and it was a great opportunity. I'm saying I still look back and say it was a barren land, almost like 1,000 acres, and the senior management asked me, okay, look, Ram, we are going to build a new fertilizer plant here. And when you speak of fertilizer plants, these are of tune of 5,000 crore kind of an investment. So at that point, it didn't come to me. Yeah, we will do it and all. I said, wow, okay. But then I think with meticulous planning and all, I think we made it happen. Put up the first fertilizer unit, and then the second. It became the largest fertilizer plant in India as of now. And then, of course, I moved on to Unilever for last 2 decades. And when I look back at both the industries, fertilizer is essential for the self reliance in terms of a food, because it's one of the main ingredients for wheat cultivation, and hence you feel proud of that you are contributing to that a wheat revolution, self sufficiency in the food, and hence the government controls the I would say the pricing in the market. And also, so we were doing was to adopting a technology of cracking the natural gas, and then making ammonia at site, and then combining ammonia with carbon dioxide to form NH2CO, NH2, which is urea pills. So from a technology front, that was one of the, I would say, best learning which I had, and also learned the project management, the skills I picked up on electrical. I think you just can't match it. From a perspective of an fast, consumer goods industry, I think Unilever has always been at the forefront. And I have been fortunate enough to not only work within India. I was there in, Turkey, Istanbul for almost 4 years there, and then in Bangladesh, as a factory director of the only factory there. So Unilever gave me I would say, a wide experience and exposure, and the industry is totally different. It is innovations, and how do you make sure that they reach fastest to the consumers,
And
and how do you
what you
innovate?
do, you're leading the engineering and supply chain for HUL across South Asia, and it's a big responsibility. What in this scenario are your key focal areas, your priorities, so to speak?
Say, as I'm saying, the function which I lead is a part of the supply chain, and supply chain is an end-to-end function in terms of we say it is plan, make, deliver. I'm saying source, make, plan, and deliver. Which means that you source the raw materials, you plan it, and then you make the product, and then you deliver the product. So the complete supply chain, involves, of course, the manufacturing bit, which is the heart of it, but then the getting the best of the raw material, best of the manufacturing facilities to make that product, and also how should I make the product so that it is able to deliver to the consumer in the right the packaging which I had made it in my factory without any defect, and in absolute full, and also making sure that it reaches the consumers fastest. That's what it is, because consumers want fresh, consumers want in the best of the packaging, and with affordable income rising now, I think premiumization is also coming of the products as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
But as somebody who has been in the industry for so long and worked across different moving parts of the supply chain, what do you think are the biggest technological challenges that the FMCG sector is facing, and perhaps the way forward for it? How could that possibly be addressed going forward?
So there are a couple of challenges which FMCG companies like Unilever faces. One is, of course, the inflation what we have in the raw material, uh, you know, and as the inflation increase in the raw material, I can't pass it on to the consumer. So I need to be efficient in my operations. I need to source it efficiently, convert it into the product efficiently, increasing the efficiency of my processes. I need to have the people, productivity also going up. And these are something, so without, let's say, the technology, it is just not possible to do it. And we use a lot of, I would say, data into it. A lot of technology is used, digital twins. We have digitalized our supply chain also to the large extent. And uh, and so these are I'm saying challenges in terms of keeping the cost same in spite of the inflation in the raw material, and also innovate the product, because consumers want a new product with a new packaging, with a better product and better. And also a lot of products now move into wellness category as well. So how do I have the science behind the product as well? So that's is a challenge. And when you have a companies like Unilever, which become behemoth, agility in the supply chain, which is how fast you can move the product to the consumer, and resilience in terms of whether inflation is there or a deflation is there, how do I benefit the consumer? I think the consumer or the customer becomes the center or the focal point of it. So these are the, I would say, challenges. And of course, keeping pace with technology in the production, bringing new products as well, is the need of the hour to the consumer.
And speaking of which, we are here at PackMach Asia. So, what are the kind of technological solutions and engineering innovation products, etc., that you're looking forward to here? Which could not just enhance Unilever's capabilities, but are eventually going to be, life changing for the sector as well.
Say, look, I've been coming to these PackMach, from the last 3-4 years, and I think it's PackMach, Asia Expo is wonderfully organized, bringing all the packaging industry, not only I would say, the packaging materials, but also the how do I pack the product, which is in terms of primary packaging, secondary packaging, the materials of the packaging, whether it is PET or BOPP, the films, the flexible, the rigids, and how do I pack it at a speed, because that's what the matter is. And I think bringing all of this, I would say, the vendors, the partners on a common platform, I think magnificent work done by PackMach on this. And I can, trust me, every time I visit this place, I think there's a huge learning which goes back. How can be more efficient, more faster, and and learning about the different packaging material as well. And as you know that these packaging materials are cost you money as well. And also looking from an environmental angle, how much is the packaging material recyclable as well. So these are also, I'm saying, it's an industry concern as well, to have the full recyclability and in a circular economy. So learning about the different packaging materials which are flexibles, foil, I think PackMach gives a huge leverage, a platform for us to learn.
Absolutely. And going forward, what kind of technological innovations look the most promising and which could prove to be transformative for large scale FMCG manufacturing in the coming years?
So I'm looking at the packaging. I'm saying now, as we are looking forward, majority of the rigids are moving into flexibles. Like you see the confectionery, the namkeens, etc. All come in the foils, etc. and all. So how can I have the foils which are anti-microbiological, microbial, and also having the freshness in it, and what is biodegradable as well. I think that is what we are looking at. We're also looking at the end of the line solutions. There's lots of partners here who are displaying the end of the line solution. When the product is packed, how do I pack it in the CLDs, and then it moves to the let's say the retailer, and then from there to the consumer. So the end of the line solutions to pack the material, pick in place, pack it properly, and barcode it or a QR code it, etc. I think this is a whole technology area which is repetitive in nature, and hence I want to use technology. So what better place to be here in PackMach and learn from it.
And industry platforms like PackMach, for instance, how valuable do you think they are for collaborative solutions or for exchanging the best practices of the industry to sort of move together forward for all of the peers and participants?
I think they I'm saying with the like-minded FMCG companies coming together, I think it provides a good platform. And I can tell you, they attract the Chirac and the Croatia, the bigger European companies who are into this filling and the packaging industry as well, into this the expo, and getting them into one roof. When you look at the solutions, filling and then capping it, or making a product and then securing the product in a good packaging so that it lasts for the time it is in the market. And then when the consumer opens it, you still have the freshness of the product. I think it's a packaging industry only, and this plays a huge role in the FMCG. I'm saying the full chain, in the value chain of the product. Without this, you just can't think of the FMCG industry. How do you distribute the product fresh to the consumer? So I think they're doing a marvelous work, I would say it, bringing, of course, like-minded FMCG companies together on the platform, partnering us to develop biodegradable films for the packaging. All of us thinking of the environment as well, and how do I get rid of the plastics, recyclable PCR, plastics, and getting into a circular economy where the virgin plastics gets replaced by more of recyclable ones, so that the mother earth is conserved. I think wonderful platform, wonderful work they are doing in
And
this
you've been
sense.
part of the industry for several years now, and you've been attending PackMac and several other, platforms like this. What comes to mind when you think of PackMac as an initiative, as a platform for the industry?
I still remember, 4 5 years back, when this was an idea with the packaging, industry, our partners, and they said we want to bring together, this all the FMCGs and other like-minded, let's say the factories and the industry together into, and it is also a platform where you see the technology, because technology is also moving at a much faster pace. And it's not only the packaging. I see now a lot of companies coming for the water also into this, because water becomes a huge, I would say, as a raw material for the manufacturing, whether it's beverage industry or whether it is any kind of liquid part of it, and hence bringing all that element together under the same platform, you get a solution as well. When you look at, you say, okay, fine, I have a problem in my factory, can I fix it with this solution? So you start having that creativity also coming into your mind when you look at the companies, their their approach towards the solution, and trust me, I have picked up many of these lessons in the last, I would say, last 4 5 years when I keep visiting the PackMach, and also when we discuss as a panelist, also when we discuss it, I think there's a huge learning, and you need to, when you want to progress in the FMCG industry, you need to unlearn, relearn, and learn. So that has to be the motto of learning. Into it, because technology is changing so fast. Better products, better packaging solutions, and better ingredients as a raw material.
Wonderful, and we can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see what's in store this time around. So, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your experiences and your insights from the event and from the industry at large.
Thank you so much.